Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. Our top story, the budget session began today with a fresh controversy after Congress MP Sonia Gandhi called President Draupadi Murmu a poor thing while commenting on her address to the parliament. The BJP was quick to slam the remarks as derogatory, with the Prime Minister saying during a rally that they were anti-tribal and anti-poor. In a rare move, the Rashtrapati Bhavan too reacted, though not naming Sonia Gandhi, but said comments made by some prominent Congress party leaders on President Draupadi Murmu's address to Parliament were unfortunate and entirely avoidable, and adding in poor taste. The Congress, though, hit back at the BJP, saying the remarks were twisted.
One nation, one election और वाकफ अधिनियम संशोधन जैसे कई महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर भी सरकार ने तेज गति से कदम आगे बढ़ाए.
The budget session is off to a stormy start. This comment by Congress leader Sonia Gandhi in response to the President's address to the joint session of Parliament triggered a massive political showdown.
No, the poor lady, the President was getting very tired by the end.
Sonia Gandhi's poor lady remark quickly drew criticism, with the Prime Minister himself leading the charge.
शाही परिवार के एक सदस्य ने कहा कि आदिवासी बेटी ने बोरिंग भाषण दिया. उन्होंने राष्ट्रपति जी को पुअर थिंग कहा, गरीब कहा और चीज कहा, थकी हुई कहा. ये देश के 10 करोड़ आदिवासी भाई बहनों का अपमान है. ये देश के हर गरीब का अपमान है.
BJP leaders wasted no time in reacting sharply, condemning her words as deeply disrespectful and undermining the dignity of India's tribal president.
Comment made by Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji against the President of India is objectionable. How can Sonia ji tells that the President of India is looking weak, frail, fatigued? How can she say like that? Just because the Honorable President is a tribal lady for the first time in the history of India who has become the President of India.
In an unprecedented move, the President's House issued a formal statement condemning the remark. It stated that Sonia Gandhi's words have hurt the dignity of the office of the President, and such comments were unacceptable. Rashtrapati Bhavan further stressed that the comments were not only unnecessary but also avoidable. Under fire from all sides, the Congress jumped in Sonia's defense. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra defended Sonia Gandhi, saying she meant no disrespect and tried to turn the tables on the BJP for blowing the issue out of proportion.
I think it's very unfortunate that this kind of thing is twisted by the media. They are both respected people. They are older than us. They are a certain age now, and it's pretty clear that she means no disrespect. जिस खाई में इन्होंने इस देश को डुबोया है, पहले उसके लिए माफी मांगे.
Political battle lines drawn on day one of the budget session. With the government on the offensive, the controversy is not likely to die down anytime soon. Bureau Report, NDTV.
राष्ट्रपति जी को पुअर थिंग कहा.
In a big blow to the Aam Aadmi Party, just 5 days ahead of the Delhi polls, now 8 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs have resigned. None of them got tickets to contest the election again, and they all cited disenchantment with the party. The MLAs accused Arvind Kejriwal and AAP of departing from the core values. Senior AAP leader Gopal Rai dismissed the move, saying the BJP's tried all conspiracies and that the AAP was going to win the Delhi elections.
मुझे लगता है कि मैं ही नहीं, चाहे कोई भी विधायक हो, किसी न किसी विचारधारा के साथ में जुड़ता है. बहुत सारे राजनीतिक दलों की राजनीति करने का तरीका, उनकी विचारधारा कहीं ना कहीं हमें लगा होगा कि वो ठीक नहीं है. नई पार्टी आई, नए लोग आए, नई विचारधारा आई और हम सब विधायक साथी उस विचारधारा के साथ में जुड़े. लेकिन एक बहुत ही कम पीरियड के अंदर 10 साल या 12 साल की राजनीतिक इस मुकाम के ऊपर आकर के शायद जो राजनीतिक दल जब हमारा देश आज़ाद हुआ तब से चलते हुए आ रहे हैं, उनके अंदर इतनी कमियां खामियां नहीं आई जो एक छोटी सी पार्टी के अंदर आ गई हैं।
ऐसा था कि हम लोग अन्ना आंदोलन से आए। मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के साथ जुड़ा था 2011 में। मेरा मेन उद्देश्य यही था कि देश में भ्रष्टाचार मिटना चाहिए। जुड़ने के बाद हम लोगों ने आंदोलन में भाग लिया, फिर उसके बाद इंडिया अगेंस्ट करप्शन बनी, उसके बाद अन्ना आंदोलन हुआ, अन्ना आंदोलन में भी हमने पूरा पार्टिसिपेट किया। फिर पार्टी बनाने की बात आई तो पार्टी बनाने के लिए हमने संगठन बनाया, पार्टी बनाई, पार्टी बनाने के बाद चुनाव हुए, सब हुए, बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा था। इस बार चुनाव में एक ऐसी स्थिति आई कि अरविंद केजरीवाल ऐसी टीम के साथ जुड़ गए जो भ्रष्टाचारी हैं सारे के सारे, और सारा भ्रष्टाचार वो करने लगे। तो डिमांड हर चीज़ की होने लगी, हर चीज़ की डिमांड करने लगे, टिकटें बेचना शुरू किए, सब किया। तो उसको लेके हम लोगों ने कहा कि ये गलत हो रहा है, तो जब गलत हम उठाएंगे तो सामने वाले बर्दाश्त नहीं करते, उन्होंने हमारी टिकट काटी।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी 2 साल से कोशिश कर रही है इस पार्टी को खत्म करने के लिए। पार्टी के नेताओं को जेल में डाल दिया, मुख्यमंत्री को जेल में डाल दिया, कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ पाए। जनता जनार्दन है, जनता की ताकत से आम आदमी पार्टी ने 70 में से 67 सीट जीता। भाजपा यहीं बैठी थी, 70 में से 62 सीट जीता। भाजपा यहीं तिकड़म कर रही थी, और इस बार भी दिल्ली के लोग नया इतिहास रचने वाले जा रहे हैं। दिल्ली के लोगों को काम चाहिए, और काम केजरीवाल के अलावा ना कोई दिया है पहले और ना आगे कर सकता है। इसलिए जनता सर्वोपरि है। जनता ने मन बना लिया है कि हमें काम करने वाली सरकार लाना है, भाजपा की सरकार को रोकना है।
And staying with Delhi news, water wars continue today. AAP Chief Arvind Kejriwal responded to the Election Commission after being asked for a clear explanation on his poison in the Yamuna water remarks. The poll body said it will examine the reply in detail and then take a decision. The BJP slammed Kejriwal's remarks as the Prime Minister said at a rally that they will transform the future of Delhi by cleaning the Yamuna when they come to power.
Delhi's water war peaking in the run-up to February 5th. AAP Chief Arvind Kejriwal has responded to the Election Commission after the poll body asked for a clear explanation on his poison in the Yamuna water remark.
और दोनों मिलके दिल्ली के लोगों की जान और सेहत के साथ खिलवाड़ कर रहे हैं।
The controversy erupted when Kejriwal accused Haryana of releasing poisonous water into the Yamuna River, which could create a water crisis in Delhi. His remarks drew sharp criticism from both the Congress and the BJP.
1 करोड़ लोगों को दिल्ली के अंदर पानी मिलना बंद हो गया होता अगर मैं शोर नहीं करता। हमारे हिसाब से हरियाणा के चीफ मिनिस्टर नायब सैनी दिल्ली को जहरीला पानी भेजने के लिए और दिल्ली के अंदर आर्टिफिशियल वाटर क्राइसिस क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करने के लिए उन्होंने अपराध किया है। उनके खिलाफ एफआईआर दर्ज की जाए। उनके खिलाफ एफआईआर ऑर्डर करने की बजाय, उनके खिलाफ एक्शन लेने के बजाय, उनको ऑर्डर देने की बजाय कि आप साफ पानी भेजिए, इलेक्शन कमीशन मेरे पीछे पड़ गया।
Kejriwal had sought the Election Commission's time today to explain the whole issue. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann and Delhi Chief Minister Atishi also accompanied him to the EC's office. In a statement, the EC said that the full commission, without getting swayed by personal insinuations and offensive strategy being in play, will examine the reply in detail and take a decision on merit.
दिल्ली के लोगों को साफ पानी पिलाने के लिए और भारतीय जनतंत्र को बचाने के लिए मुझे कड़ी से कड़ी सज़ा, जो भी असंवैधानिक और इलीगल सज़ा सुनाई जाएगी, वो सज़ा मैं खुली बाहों के साथ में स्वागत करता हूं। सज़ा का मुझे कोई उस बात का दुख नहीं है।
इतनी जहरीली राजनीति।
The BJP has hit back at Kejriwal over his remarks.
अब आपदा वालों ने हरियाणा के लोगों पर पानी में जहर मिलाने का आरोप लगाया। इतनी जहरीली राजनीति देश तक कभी नहीं देखी। मैं तो दिल्ली वालों से आग्रह करूंगा कि आप सतर्क रहें। ये वोटिंग से पहले अपने झूठ को सिद्ध करने के लिए किसी भी हद तक जा सकते हैं।
यहाँ पर ना तो नाले की सफाई की गई 10 वर्षों में, ना सीवरेज की सफाई की गई, ना एसटीपी की सफाई की गई, और जहाँ पर पानी एकत्र होता है तालाब में, उस तालाब की भी सफाई इसके द्वारा नहीं की गई। और ये दूसरे के ऊपर आरोप लगा करके अपनी राजनीतिक स्वार्थसिद्धि को सिद्ध करना चाहता है, परंतु लोग समझ रहे हैं अब इसकी दाल गलने वाली नहीं है।
The EC earlier asked Arvind Kejriwal to provide evidence for his claim. In his response, Mr. Kejriwal maintained that his statements were based on the contamination levels and denied any political motive behind them.
As the election date draws closer, the war of words over water intensifies, with both sides digging in their heels. This remains to be seen how this controversy will impact the upcoming elections. With camera person Mukesh Kumar, this is Anushka Garg for NDTV.
The Maharashtra Home Department has formed a special investigation team to investigate whether the erstwhile Maha Vikas Aghadi government headed by Uddhav Thackeray was planning to arrest then leader of opposition Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde in a fake case. The probe team was announced in the assembly on Tuesday by senior cabinet minister Shambhuraje Desai, who said it would be headed by a senior IPS officer. The SIT, which has been asked to submit its report to the government within 30 days, will be headed by Officer Satyanarayan Chaudhary. The opposition, however, has scoffed at the claims, questioning why the Mahayuti government is making this move now, despite being in power for more than 3 years. With that, time for us to slip into a short break. More news coming up on the other side. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Editors Guild of India has asked the Chennai police to return seized mobile phones and other electronic devices of several journalists as part of the investigation into the sexual assault case of a student in the city. The EGI also raised concern over the manner in which the Chennai police conducted investigation against journalists. Earlier, the Chennai Press Club also condemned the actions of the SIT. The controversy arose after the SIT investigating the Anna University sexual abuse case summoned journalists, particularly those on the crime beat, and seized their phones. To talk more about this, we're joined by Anant Nath, President of the Editors Guild of India. And this is extremely outrageous, the manner in which these journalists were treated. Also, there are no guidelines, specific guidelines regarding journalism and, the police.
Yes, Gargi. So there are a couple of things here. First and foremost, the Chennai police served them summons reportedly through WhatsApp. And as recently as 4 days ago, the Supreme Court has issued orders that police has to serve any summons in person. WhatsApp summons are not valid ways. So first and foremost, the way the summons were issued was invalid. Secondly, for something like this, investigating, a leak of an FIR. Supposedly, these FIRs were put up on government websites. These journalists had downloaded them in pursuit of journalistic work. They have gone a very heavy-handed approach of seizing their devices and, of course, interrogating them in a fairly intrusive manner. Apparently, they've been asking them questions about their personal lives, about their financial affairs, which is far beyond the remit that such an investigation should have. And again, this is, going back to the Supreme Court observation and mandate to the central government in 2023, when they asked central government to frame guidelines regarding seizure of devices, especially for journalists, and the central government was supposed to do it. They haven't done so. There have been umpteen cases. NewsClick journalists, about 80 of them, their devices were journalists in 2020, were seized in 2023. I think only a couple of them have gotten their devices back. Rest of them are still with the police. Similarly, Wire journalists, their devices were seized. So this has been a pattern across both the central government and state governments of just seizing devices of journalists, which is, of course, extremely excessive.
Right, and the journalists in, the Chennai Press Club in Chennai has also gone and met with top cops. What is the situation now? Are you hopeful that the devices will be returned?
Well, we are hopeful, of course. The first incident should not have happened, and we hope that after this issue has been raised, we are hopeful. We remain hopeful that, or we should remain hopeful rather that they return. Yeah, but
definitely.
The president
also
is wrong.
This point that you were making about guidelines, because today it's happened in Chennai, it can happen tomorrow elsewhere. So it's important that the guidelines should be framed.
Exactly. I think central government should have done it long ago. And we urge both the government and, of course, the Supreme Court to take up this matter again. They were supposed to frame them. So I think there is a case for, again, knocking at the higher judiciary again.
All right, Anand Nath, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. In other news now, a judicial commission arrived at the Mahakumbh Mela Kshetra in Prayagraj today to investigate the stampede that took place on the 29th of January. The commission set up by the UP government is tasked with submitting a detailed report within a month. Now, the team is headed by retired Allahabad High Court Justice Harsh Kumar and will be examining the causes of the stampede. This was a massive tragedy that took place at the Mahakumbh. The group will also assess crowd management and determine accountability for the incident that, remember, resulted in 30 people losing their lives. The panel today visited the Sangam Nose. This is where the stampede took place. Now, according to the police, the stampede broke out as crowd jumped the barricades, crushing those who were waiting for their turn on the other side. Finally, in other news, former UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has arrived in Jaipur. He arrived earlier today, and his wife Akshata Murthy and mother-in-law Sudha Murthy, who remembers a prolific writer, will be speaking at a session at the Literature Festival that is underway in Jaipur, and the former Prime Minister will be attending this session, which will be an interaction between his wife and mother-in-law. With that, it's a wrap from me, and news updates continue right here on NDTV.